Hey friends, welcome back to the second part of this series. This is 2.1, which is how to make an interactive worksheet with Google Slides. So if you're looking for PowerPoint, look back in the playlist for that particular version. So we definitely have this converted. In order to do this, you have to have converted your PDF into either a PNG or a JPEG file. You have to do that first. So we have done that, and I know that again because I've just moused over to see that it's a PNG file, and we're going to keep going. So our goal is to make something that doesn't take a ton of time. So I'm being very mindful of like how long this video takes because it's about as long as it will take you to make the worksheet itself, depending on how many boxes you need to add. I'm going to give you some quick tips here to make this go a little faster. So you need to go into My Drive, and at QPS, I want to tell you, you need to check out, make sure that you are in your school Google account. This is the one that coordinates with Schoology, and I have more than one Google account. I have personal ones as well, and occasionally I accidentally save stuff into them and I can't find it. So just a quick tip, check there first. The next thing we want to do is go to New, and then we're going to click Google Slides, and an untitled document will pop up. Go ahead and close this out from the last time. All right, so you have an untitled presentation. It is boring and white, and nothing is interesting about this. It's okay, we're about to make it interesting. So go ahead and click out of themes. You're just going to use the simple light theme because it doesn't matter. The next thing you're going to do is to get rid of these text boxes. You could go through and delete them, but this is faster. Go with the layout up here on the bar and go to blank. That's it. The next thing we need to do is resize our presentation because it's going to need to look like a piece of paper, and right now it looks like a slide. So if you know what the dimensions of a piece of paper are, this is real fast. So go to File and scroll down to Page Setup. See, right now it's on widescreen, 16:9, great for watching TV, not great for this. So we're going to go to Custom, and a piece of paper is 8.5 by 11 inches. So that's the size we're going to make it. This looks much better, much more appropriate for this. Then all we're going to do is make that PDF, that one that we converted into a PNG file. We're going to make it into the background of this. So normally your background is like a different color, or it's pretty, or we don't care. This right now, the background is white, and we're not going to even bother with the color. It doesn't matter. Go to Choose Image and go to Browse. And we're going to go in and get this. And definitely checking to see if it's the PNG file again. Yep. All you have to do is let it just float over the image. You don't even have to click anything to see what sort of file type it is. And if it's not a PNG or a JPEG, it will just tell you it does not support that file format. Click on Done. And there it is. And you can't move it, and you can't type on it yet, but the kids can't get rid of it either. So that's really helpful. They're not the editors of this document. So I'm going to go up here to Zoom and get a little closer on this. And as you can see, every time you convert something, the visual quality does decrease just a little bit. So this is just a little grainier, but I've seen people do these before where they take screenshots of the worksheet, and that makes it much worse. In my humble opinion, I think the file just looks better when you use a converter for it. So we want to add some text boxes to this. And the way that you do that is you go up here to Text Box. That's the T right here. Or you can go to Insert Text Box. They both work. And I want to make it so that the kid can type where they would have normally, if this were a piece of paper, where they would have written. Now, I'm a big fan of elevating, or at least creating a more tech responsive option. If you're going to put it on a computer, if you're going to digitize it, it shouldn't work exactly the same as it would on paper. Like, that's not the goal. That's a whole other video and a whole other conversation. I assume if you're doing this, it's because this is what you want to do. And I'm going to keep going under that assumption. So here's the thing. I just made a text box, but I want to show you a few things about it. The first one is when we click out of it, you can't see it right now. And so a kid isn't going to know to go here to start typing. You always want to make sure that everything about your worksheet is transparent. Now, not literally transparent, but that there shouldn't be any misunderstanding whatsoever about where things go. So click on this, and so we're going to fill this in. You might want to, as you're starting this whole approach, to pick a color and stick with it. So for now, I'm going to do gray because it just works for me. And it looks good. I also want to put a border around this just to make it that much easier to visualize. And so the border color is right here. We're going to make it a little darker gray. And we're going to make it 2 points. You could also make it like dashed or dotted if you want to. I think it looks fine and solid, but there's that option is also available to you. So what do you think? It's not bad. Before we move on, we want to make this box the default box, the one that's going to be like every other box. And the reason you want to do that will be clear in a second. So click back in here. And right now it is an Arial 14-point type in black text color. And I don't want to use that. So I'm going to pick a font that is not like the font that the worksheet is in. So we want to pick something like Cambria. That's an easy one. And I'm going to just practice typing here. It's a little big. You're going to run out of space really fast there. So we're going to bump it down to, I want to say, let's see what 12 looks like. That's better. So that is, we're going to leave it at Cambria 12 point. I don't want to leave it in black though, because your eyes will thank you later if it's in a different color and you're not trying to view it as one big black worksheet. So text color, and it depends on like what your feelings about red ink are. I like red for this. It helps me visualize it. I don't go for the bright red, usually dark red one. And you'll just want to be mindful about keeping this background color lighter so that this shows up. That is really easy for me to read, so we're going to go with it. And so now we have formatted the text type, the font. We've done the font size. We've done the font color. And so we're ready to speed this process up. And the way that you do that is you just are going to copy and paste this text box and then adjust it. Don't do this over and over and over again. So it's all ready. And all I want to do is recreate it. So I'm going to right click right here on this box. And you'll notice that copy is not available. I wanted to show you how to do it wrong first. If you can still see this cursor, it's not going to work. So you need to click off of the text box, then mouse over it where you get the crosshairs and right click it. Now you can copy it. So when we hit paste, so let's say I want to paste it over here in number 2. So I'm clicking over here by number 2 and I went to paste. It's not going to populate there. In slides, it just populates right near the place where you got it the first time. And so all these boxes are roughly the same size. So I want to paste again. I'm just going to hit Control V. It's going to paste again. And this one we have a little more space. So maybe a little less space. So put it there and then just use the dimensional tools to make it the size that you want. Okay. I'm going to hit pause and go ahead and fill the rest of these in so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. I'll be back. Okay, so I have gone in and pasted that to every box. And to be fair, it took about a minute, but I didn't want to do that to you. So the second one is a little higher order question. And it says to do it on the back of the paper. There are a number of ways you could do this. You could add another slide over here and then tell them here in the instructions, like make a text box and say answer on the next slide. Or you can do something where you only have one page to look at. I prefer that. So because it's asking you to identify these people and then answer a question about them, I'm going to make a text box that is a table instead of just a regular text box. Although a text box would work. I just want to show you how to do this. It's just a little different process. So I want to go to Insert. I want to go to Table, and then I'm going to go to 4x1, and Y will be here in a second. I want to draw it. Oh, actually, I didn't draw it. Never mind. It's going to populate right in the middle. I miss it every time. So if you do too, you can just say, oh, that's like Sarah. And I'm going to put it down here, and I want it to cover up this text down here, and I want to make it bigger. So I want to stretch it like this. And then do you remember what we do to make it so that you can't see through it? That's right, we're going to go up to fill, and we're going to fill it in. This one I want to make white. And it didn't work, and I remember why now. You have to click in there. And I want it to be white, and you'll notice that went away. And then I want this one, oh my goodness, I want this one to be gray, like the others. Perfect. And we want this one to be gray. If something doesn't work, just go back and click on it again. It's not the end of the world. And even though this one isn't covering up any text, I'm going to keep it consistent and put that in white. Okay. Also, if you want a border on these, you just click right in the cell itself, and you can make a border, and I'm going to make that border color like that, and so on. So when you're done, it will look like this. So this allows me to keep it on one page. One of my favorite features to end this is to just put a text box up here. All I did was fill this in with yellow instead of gray. And then I made a hyperlink to our textbook. So when a kid needs to fill this out, then they can click on it and it will just open up right in the next tab. To add a hyperlink, all you do is highlight the text that you want to add it to. Let's say I wanted to add it to textbook. And so we're highlighting here. And then we want to go up to the hyperlink tool here, or you can right click on it and click on link. And then you just put your textbook link in there. Just grab it the usual way. And paste it in there. I'm just hitting Control V to paste. And hit apply. And so now it's done. But that's all you do. And now you can add this as a Google Drive assignments app assignment, and your kids will type right on it, and you'll be able to see it even when they're working on it. And I think it'll work out really well for you. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Bye.